say, my name is Neepin, which means summer in Cree. I love going for walks on my reserve with my cookum. There I am right there. Tonight I'm going to visit my cookum. We're going to make a campfire and share stories. Kayas, she said. A long time ago, our elders told children stories to teach them about their history, values, and traditions, my cookum says. These stories weren't written. They were passed down through spoken word. Cookum asked me, do you remember the stories I told you about the handshake and the pipe and the friendship? Eehee. Yes, I do. Good, my girl, Cookum says. Now tonight, I will tell you a story about why all Canadians are treaty people. Many years ago, big ships came across the ocean and brought many new people to this land. The newcomers said they came from far away. The newcomers and First Nations people became friends. They shook hands and smoked the pipe in honor of their friendship. First Nations people taught the newcomers many things, like how to make sugar from trees, how to walk on deep snow, and how to make clothes from animal hides. With the help of the First Nations people, the newcomers explored the land and learned all about the animals, waterways, and the plants in the forests. And they learned how to follow the stars in the night sky. Soon the newcomers began to build communities called forts. First Nations people and the newcomers became trading partners, as each had goods the other could use. They traded items such as animal furs for metal pots. The newcomers settled onto farms. They brought horses, cows, pigs, and chickens. They also brought seeds to grow different kinds of crops. They built houses and made towns and roads. As more newcomers arrived on the land, the First Nations people saw their traditional way of life changing. They knew they had to talk to the newcomers about their friendship and their future. Everyone came together and decided on making treaties. It was agreed in the treaties that this would last as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the waters flow. The Canadian treaties were made a long time ago. First Nations people agreed to share the land with the newcomers, and the newcomers agreed to give First Nations people special rights and privileges. After the treaties were made, First Nations people went to live on sections of land called reserves. Reserves were given to the First Nations people, while all the newcomers settled in the places that had traditionally been First Nation territories. As a result of the treaties, more newcomers arrived from different parts of the world. They came to live on the land of the First Nations people and agreed to share. Today, territories under treaty agreements are spread across much of Canada. The treaties are still in place today and are recognized within the laws of Canada. The treaties are honored by all Canadians, including those who immigrate to Canada. New Canadians also make a promise that they will respect these laws. This promise includes the promise of treaties. First Nations people celebrate the treaties. Each year, many communities host a Treaty Day. In honor of the treaties, Canadians from all backgrounds often attend First Nations Treaty Days as a symbol of their friendship. Neepin, the newcomers promised First Nations people that they would always have places to live, they'd always have schools for learning, and they'd have areas where they could hunt and fish. First Nations people promised to share the land with the newcomers in peace and friendship. Even though the treaties were made a long time ago, they should continue to be respected today and always, Cookum says. Cookum, if the treaties were made by First Nations people and the newcomers, does this mean that all Canadians are a part of the treaties? That's right, my girl. We are all treaty people, my Cookum says. Now that you know the stories about the treaties, Neepin, it is your responsibility to teach others, Cookum says. I will. And don't forget to shake hands in friendship. I won't, Cookum. I'll get to be a teacher when I tell my friends all about the treaties.